Hi, good evening everybody. Welcome to Inside the Numbers. This is a video on the channel where the board appears. And it's not going to be a numbers video today, guys. I'm going to give you a clip. It's a request video, actually. Catching up some requests, so I'm going to do some consecutive requests. And here's the clip. Shout out goes to Philip Gibson. He goes, Wayne, I'd love to see you do a show on the list of Sabres that are untouchable, no matter what the trade would be. I think I only have one player that I just couldn't part with. It would be an interesting topic. Here we go. All right. So, Philip, I will start off by saying that untouchable is a touchy word. It's not really. I think anybody can be traded. I do. I'm a big believer anybody can be traded on a team. But I'm going to give you a list of players. I'm just going to rant. I don't have it pre-made. I'm just going to go on the top. I'll give you my reasoning as I go along. I might take some names off this list that might surprise people. But if I was GM, and guys, I'm going to leave my glasses on because I'm running tests, as you know. And if my voice sounds a little bad, please bear with me. It's going to take a few days to get back to normal. All right. Where is, oh, it's right there. So what I'll do, we'll talk about it. All right, guys. Now I put the forwards down, and guys, I put them in columns, okay? This isn't left wing, center, right wing. Just so you know, you'll see 3 columns for the blue liners, 3 columns for the goalies too. I'm just putting everybody out there. 14 forwards on the roster, 8 blue liners, and 3 goalies. As we have it right now, there's 25 on the current roster because nobody's on. These were roster players this year. Look, let's go on the guys. I don't want to go on the youngsters that are down below. It's just not right to do yet, because those guys could be traded at any time. They really could be. As much as we want to see Savoy and Kulik come up, those guys could be trade pieces in a huge trade. They could be. So let's not go there. We're stacked in offense, so let's get to it. All right, guys, we're going to start with Jeff Skinner. Skinner. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scratch out the ones that I think I would be open to trading and circle the ones I'd like to keep, okay, and give you my reasoning. But it doesn't mean that, if Matthew Tkachuk became available, that I wouldn't be open to trading these guys I'm circling. All right, Jeff Skinner, guys, I'm gonna scratch. I'd be open to moving Jeff Skinner. I just would be. I know he's got his game back together the last few years. Guys, he's in his 30s now. His contract's way too much for what he brings. I know he's bringing it, but he's not bringing a $9 million guy. If we could trade Jeff Skinner, I'm open-minded to it. I am. Just financial reasons. No other reason. I know he has a lot of heart. He has a little skid he does and all, but $9 million bucks? No. If he was $6 million, he'd be circled right now. Okposo? No. I'm done with Okposo. I'm done with him in that contract. And if we sign him again and we give that guy anything more than $1.5 million, that's a big fail on Adam's part. This guy should not be making anything close to more than $1.5 million a year now, what he brings. No. And I don't care what he brings in the dressing room. We got 5 other leaders I can name on this team just as good. No. We don't need Okposo's leadership, guys. That's an illusion. Believe me, that's an illusion. Alex Tuch, I keep. He's a keeper. If I have to explain to any of you Sabres fans why, then you're new to following the Buffalo Sabres, okay? Come on. Alex Tuch is the whole package, guys. Olofsson, gone. That's an easy one. I'm not even going to give any reasons. I've done it all season long. Greenway, if we can move, we can move him and get something good back. Don't forget, it's not just players I want to see off the team. I like Greenway. I do. I like the potential he brings, not what he's brought so far, but the potential he brings. I like. But Greenway, yes, I'd be open to moving him. Middlestat, we seen how strong he finished last year, how good he finished, how finally it looks like it's coming to fruition, what we drafted. I'd still be open to moving him. Gergensons. We're too talented for him now. Sorry, I'm going to just put it bluntly. We're too talented for players of this caliber now on this team. If we continue to think we need Okposo and Gergensons on this team, then guys, let's just step in the mud for another year and let the kids develop another year and maybe come this close to the playoffs another year, because that's what'll happen. I'll tell you right now. We've got to go fearless into the future with the younger squad again. We got to go younger just one more time though, guys, eh? Just one more time. We got to bring in Kulik. We got to bring in Savoy. And for those of you guys that think they're too young for the team, I encourage you to watch more NHL hockey, because they're not. They're just not. We brought in Cousins at that age, and look at him now. So come on. Tyson Jost, I'm open to moving. Nothing against Jost, I like him, but these are guys I'm all open to moving if it's the right trade. You know, if we get something back, absolutely. Hinostroza, I like what he brought here. I'm open to moving him too. Now it gets tricky. Tage Thompson. He didn't look himself down the stretch this year. Did he lose his confidence? I don't think so. I think he was hurt, and I think he's going to bounce back next year with another crazy season. We'd be crazy to move Tage at this point. Now, would have I said that 3 years ago? Absolutely no. He would have got scratched right away. So Tage is a keeper, absolutely. Dylan Cousins, without a doubt, stays. Peyton Krebs. I'm open to moving. Sorry guys, what do you have? 9 goals last year? I'm open to moving him, you know? Not that I'm being impatient, I'm just open to moving him. Not that I don't like him, I'm just open to moving him. That's all it is. I'm open to moving these guys. Quinn, I say you keep. You got to keep your youngsters, and Peterka. You got to keep your youngsters. Absolutely. You do not move your youth. That's a mistake. The rest of these guys, and I know Krebs is part of that youth, but he looks like something, he's missing an edge right now. And I think he could get it this year, sure. I think by the end of the year, you guys might be saying, hey, you want to move Krebs. Come on. I'm just saying right now in this offseason, if we got a good deal for something that can bring us over the top in a deal, we got to be open-minded to moving these guys. If somebody calls us and says, hey, you know, we'll trade you Hellebuck for Skinner, you going to say no? I don't know. I'd be open-minded to it, only because of getting rid of that contract. And we have a lot of young scoring talent up and coming. We got to be open-minded to moving that $9 million, but do we want to land another $9 million player? That's the question. That's the question. So I got 5 forwards that have survived the first cut, and we'll talk about the second cut later. All right, Dahlin, we know is a keeper, but guys, I'm going to tell you something. If he demands like $11 million, move him out. Move him out. No. We don't tolerate greed. But Dahlin for now stays. And I'm hoping he's going to take like $9 million. Anybody that thinks he's worth more than that, what's he done? What has he won? He's made an all-star game, okay? Or 2 all-star games. He's not even nominated for the Norris. He has no leeway to say, you know what, I want $11 million. I want to be the highest paid defenseman. I want to be eventually the highest paid defenseman in hockey. He wants to get more than, let's say, anybody might want more than 11. So we got to keep this guy under control financially. So all these guys, okay, well, Thompson's locked in, Cousins is locked in, but Quinn, Peterka, Tuck you could tell he's not a greedy guy. But you want to make sure that the rest of the youth doesn't follow suit and get greedy as well. Ask Toronto what happened once over there. Once they gave Nylander the keys to the city, what happened? Go look at them now if you think I'm wrong. Lyubushkin, I'm open to moving. I like Lyubushkin. I don't want to move him, but I'm open to moving him. Because he looked really good last year in some points, but he looked like a liability in other nights, you know. Look, he's not an all-star. Yoki-Haru, I'm open to moving. I like to keep him one more year, but if we get a deal that suits us, move him. Bryson, I would have moved him 2 years ago. 2 years ago. When I started this channel, I would have moved this guy. And Okposo. And Olofsson. Back then, I would have moved all these guys 2 years ago. Believe me. Stillman, I'm open to moving. I like what Stillman brings. I think we should try to maintain having Stillman, even as a bottom pairing guy. We should. But we'll see. We'll see what the plans are, guys, because it depends what we do this offseason. This offseason's huge. Samuelson, keep. For me, that's an absolute keeper, that guy. Power, keep. And Clegg, yeah, I'm open to moving. Power, I think Power is a no-brainer. Dahlin and Samuelson, this is no-brainers, you know. Comrie, open to moving. Levi, stays. UPL, I'm open to moving right now if the phone rings. That's how I feel about UPL, guys, really. That's where I stand with it. Now, if I was to try to put this in order, okay, let's try. I'm going to have a little fun with this. You know, I'm going to put in order. I've got to go with Thompson, number 1. I'm going to go just forward, and then I'm going to go with Cousins, number 2. Tuck, number 3. You can flip these around, eh, guys? Your favorite players. And Quinn and Peterka, I guess we'll go with Quinn. And Peterka, number 5. But that's just where I got them now. God, this could change by the end of this year. And defense, Dahlin, number 1. Power, number 2. Samuelson, number 3. And of course, there's only one goalie that I would say is priority. If you take the 3 number 1s, Thompson, Dahlin, and Levi, I guess Dahlin's the priority. He's the franchise defenseman, no matter what. But we might move him one day and Power becomes the guy. It just could happen that way. But these are my picks, guys. So I got 5 forwards, 3 blue liners, and 1 goalie. So that's 9 guys on the roster that I wouldn't want to trade. I'm not saying I wouldn't trade them, guys. You call me right now and tell me Mario Lemieux's available. You think I'm not going to move these guys? Come on. I'm going to take 5 of these guys to get Mario. I just would. I think I'd be crazy not to, because that guarantees you a Stanley Cup. It might be more years of punishment and drafting and trading and building, but once you're there, my God, you've got the mega superstar forever, you know? It would be hard for me to move any of these guys. I like them all. And guys that have won me over, I'll stop the video with this. Guys that have won me over, I like Stillman. But it's a small sample size, guys. I want to see more of Stillman first. I like Jost. I like what he brought. Greenway, I liked how he closed the season, but I'm not going to give him an asterisk just yet. I like what Skinner's done the last few years, how he's brought his game back. And Middlestat surprised me last year, the way he closed. Hinostroza, I thank him for his time here. Gergensons, Okposo, I think are past. Their time is past here. I know Gergensons isn't that old yet, but this roster is getting too talented for him, man. It really is. And nothing against Clegg. You know, these guys are okay. Yoki Haru, I don't know what to think about Yoki Haru. I want to give him 1 more year. Okay? If he is not doing anything by mid-season, move him out. I'm out of patience with him too. But we were all out of patience with Middlestat. We've seen what he brought late in the year. We'll see if he continues, though, because if Middlestat starts slow this year, we're going to all be pulling out our hair that we didn't move him in the offseason. So that's how hockey fans are. All right, guys, done for this one. See you in the next one.